Hi everybody, it's me Andrew. I'm here at Allegory Gallery in Ligonier, Pennsylvania. This is Allison, and we're here to do an unboxing. It's been a while. It's been a couple months at least.
Yeah.
I can't remember.
The purple kit?
What was that? Right before we
Springtime
moved,
Wonder
right?
or something.
Yeah, so we moved about 2 months ago.
Yeah, we haven't been on the
We haven't been
kit
doing
site since you moved.
No.
Mm-mm.
So we haven't been doing many challenges, and that's mostly because we've just been busy working on the new space and getting all of our projects ready. And this is actually a work in progress. We kind of tidied up over here, but if you look over
Don't
here
look off to the side.
or over there, it's a little bit of a nightmare time. But not too bad.
It's not.
Yeah,
It's not that bad. It's little.
It's not awesome yet, but it's getting there little by little. So what have we been doing? I don't know.
We've been moving.
We've been moving.
Yeah.
We moved the shop. We had Christy Friesen's art show.
Yes.
We had Ellie's Crash and Burn metal art. We had her.
Christy's
We saw her work up.
Yeah, didn't we have Christy's class too, didn't we?
We did have Christy's class.
Right before the move, yeah.
It was right before the move, and then Kelly Russell was there for a day.
Kelly came and did a class. Yeah, we did a quick class with her.
Yeah. Like the
I
day
didn't
before
finish
we
my
moved.
project yet.
She's coming in August. So.
Okay, maybe I'll have it done by then.
Or if you're stumped, maybe wait. But
yeah, I might wait for her help because that's that embroidery, needle and thread work.
So it's exciting. So what brings us here today is we're doing an unboxing. It's been a while, so William, are you ready to show the new kit? Or should I talk about
You should
the
talk a little bit,
inspiration?
because I can't. I'm trying to get these all on the set.
William's trying
All
to
right.
triple task right now.
Yes.
So the inspiration for this kit actually came from Allison. She was like,
Yeah.
why don't we do
Little
a 4th of July
celebration
kit? And so I generally tend to steer away from...
Scrunch your nose at that type of thing.
I tend to go a little bit
Commercialized.
different.
Yeah.
Because I feel like there's so many people doing things that are of the same flavor. And so I always think about doing something that's a little bit more, has more of my signature.
Individualistic, yeah.
Something that resonates with me.
Mm-hmm.
And so I started thinking about it, and I do have some really fond memories of spending my childhood summers in Arkansas with my cousins.
Arkansas?
Yep.
That's
a little
new
town
for me.
called Piggott,
Did not
Arkansas,
know that.
in the Ozarks. And we were in Poplar Bluff, Missouri. So we would spend time together there, and there was a parade. And it reminds me a lot of Ligonier, actually. It was a very small town. There was a main street with little shops, and they actually had a little park with petrified wood pieces that were big kind of boulders kind of set up around. So it was pretty cute.
I'll have to Google that. What was the town?
It's called Piggott. The great claim to fame is that Ernest Hemingway spent some time there and wrote one of his novels.
Oh, wow. So
In
in the
Piggott,
Ozarks.
Arkansas.
Okay.
Anyway, so I would spend time with my cousins, and there was a parade, and we'd have fireworks and go fishing, and we would eat watermelon, and we had those little flags, and we would wave the little flags.
Sparklers?
We had sparklers. We had all sorts of fireworky things.
Thank you.
There were those little things that looked like little baggies that you would throw and they would snap.
Oh, right. Pop. I don't know what they're called.
I don't know. What are those called? Does
It's
anybody
called
out there
something.
know? Well, anyway,
Like
so we would
crackers
do
or
that.
poppers or something.
And one of us got in trouble for putting it behind the wheel of a car, and not just like one or two, but like a handful.
4th of July is usually a nice time for the kids to get in harmless trouble. Yeah, harmless trouble. Yeah.
Yeah, not too bad.
Yeah.
It was a simpler time.
Right.
There wasn't much trouble you could get into in Piggott, Arkansas.
Yeah.
I think our biggest trouble was who broke the other kids' mud pies. So it wasn't, there wasn't too much going on.
Yeah, we
but
always
anyways,
had 4th of July here. Go to see the fireworks at Idlewild. Idlewild always puts off, always has
they still
put
do.
off. Yeah, pretty nice fireworks for a little small town.
Yeah. Now, do they have? They don't have a parade here for the 4th. That's in Latrobe, right?
Yeah, Latrobe does the big.
So Latrobe does the big.
And Crabtree does the really big 4th of July fireworks.
And Latrobe is about 12 minutes away, and Crabtree is.
The other direction, about 12 probably.
Is it?
Yeah, I guess.
Where's Crabtree?
So you 7-Eleven south to Donegal, and then off that direction towards Mount Pleasant area.
Oh. I'm sure we've passed through there.
Mm-hmm.
But so I started thinking about it, and I was like, well, I do have fond memories of flags, and I like the kind of the feel and the textile kind of quality to it, and I particularly like the little grommets. I actually did, when I was in art school, I did these massive art quilts that were held together with grommets and different things, and dyed fabrics and all kinds of fun things that are. When I showed my mom, because she's a real quilter.
I was gonna say she's textile, isn't she?
Yeah. She was like, "This is not so good."
She was so encouraging.
So encouraging. Well, because they weren't made the way you're supposed to make them.
Okay.
Like the stitches were all wonky and crazy, and there was a lot of like
she didn't approve of
freehand
freedom.
And then things were kind of, the fabrics weren't the right fabrics, and things were put together that shouldn't be put together. Like I would use pieces of silk with pieces of wool and things that stretch and don't. So anyways, they were art quilts. They were definitely not for actual use. But anyway, so I used to put grommets, and so I love those little circles of brass. There's just something nice about those little bits of gold. I think it just really sets it off.
Yeah.
So that's how the mix kind of came about. So there's the red, white, and blue, and then there's a little bit of gold. The red, white, and blue, it's a little bit darker. There's a couple lighter hues
I like
mixed
the dark
in.
reds.
But I wanted it not to be so in your face 4th of July, but also still be reminiscent of it. Because I kind of like it when you get a kit or you get materials and you can use them for lots of different things.
Right. Yeah.
And not just,
Oh, there's lots of things in this kit.
Definitely. Yeah. And so it's not like, this is a Christmas kit. This is, the Halloween
But I'm
kit.
going full on 4th whenever I'm making my project.
Hey, but that's good too. I think there's something nice about also being able, as a jewelry maker, to be able to make something that's your very own, and you can customize, and you can, if you are going to an event that is themed, you can make your own and make it, match the theme.
Yes, school teachers, type of stuff, like they always wear themed. I always think of that,
Well, I mean, if you're teaching about, like, the seasons and the time of year.
They always wear, matching necklaces to what's going on.
Yeah, we'll coordinated. So, and I also thought of Wonder Woman when I was making this, and I probably shouldn't say that, but I like the color scheme.
Yeah.
Linda Carter.
Wonder Woman kit?
We
did a Wonder Woman challenge.
Yes. And then I think
What? How
Laura
did that
Lee
happen?
Colton won that.
We did a little
How did
kit
that
for the
happen?
Diamond Theater.
Yeah.
We made
that's
a little
right, for the movie.
one
Mm-hmm.
for when the movie came out.
Mhm.
And the new one's supposed to come out soon,
Oh, I didn't know.
next year.
Oh, now I'm really excited.
It's in the 80s. Takes place in the 80s.
Wow.
So that's exciting. We watched some of the other ones, and I was like,
The old ones?
no, the
real ones?
DC, like
Oh.
the new DC ones. They're not always my favorite.
Uh-uh.
Sorry. But we still watch them, so I guess
Yeah.
there's something to be said about that.
People
So,
watch them.
yeah, I love a good superhero movie. But anyways,
All right, how we doing, William? We're on a time
We're almost
frame
there.
today.
so yeah, we got
Well, we can
stuff
show
to
what's
do.
in the.
Well, we can't
Mix
really
this?
because it's laying down. So,
Oh.
Almost there. Give me
so
2 more
he-
minutes.
so
2 more
he-
minutes.
He's typing frantically in the background like crazy.
Trying to get
You know
these
what I was
online.
thinking of, we talk while we're here, is we need to start thinking of another round of book club books already.
I know.
Can you
soon.
believe?
And I can't believe it. I really can't. Because it seems like only yesterday
I know.
that we just finished picking the last one. Our last book club book was The Radium Girls.
That was
And the one before that was,
tough summer reading. That one was.
oh,
That
the
was-
one before that was not.
Yeah.
That was,
That was fun.
Eleanor Oliphant.
Yeah, that was
completely
fun summer
fine.
reading. I haven't
Um,
started this month, have you? Mm-mm.
I read her other one. I'm stuck on listening to. So I'm gonna do a little bit of backstory to this. So I used to work in this restaurant in New York, and there used to be a group of people that would come every single day, and they came every day, and they had their laptops, and they were all huddled together, and they were there, and they'd spend hours and hours and hours and hours there.
Okay.
And I was like, what? Because we wanted to respect their privacy, so we never asked them
Mm-hmm.
what they did. And like when the internet would go out, they'd get kind of cranky. And we would be like, so like, what's going on? And we had different theories.
Yeah, I'm
One was
sure.
like that they were a terrorist group.
I'm sure there's lots of theories.
Another was that they were college professors, which actually one of them was, but they actually turned out to be young adult authors.
Oh, okay.
So Libba Bray and Scott Westerfeld and Maureen Johnson
Cool.
and Robin Wasserman,
And they were doing a little writer
and
group.
Cassandra Clare.
Wow. You remember them all.
I know. Imagine that.
You do have memory like an elephant, though.
And the reason why I connected the dots was that I went to this show called FairyCon, and Holly Black was there, and we had gotten to talk to her and became friendly with her. And then she ended up coming into the restaurant to write with
Okay.
her friend Cassandra Clare, that's a pen name, by the way. So anyways, so then it all connected and all of our worlds collided.
Mhm.
And I was like, I know you. And then,
And I want to know you, and I want to know you.
and
right?
then, so then I started reading all of their books.
Yeah.
One after the other. And so there was this, Cassandra Clare has this series of books, the Shadowhunter books, or the Mortal Instrument books.
Is that what we're reading?
No.
Okay.
And that's why I haven't gone there. And so there's a ton of them. So I'm on book 6 or something like that.
You're stuck in
And
a
so,
in a series. You're in the middle of a series.
And so the reason why I haven't read our book club book, which is which I'm actually excited to read, which
Yeah.
is The Parable of the Sower, which is by Octavia Butler.
Okay. It's a series too, isn't it?
There's 2 in it,
Okay.
and it's called the Earth Seed books. But anyway, so I'm stuck in the middle of this series, and I'm on book 6 of the Cassandra Clare books, and there's dozens, I think. So I might have to take a break and
Okay, so I
do
think
that.
I'm good on my end.
Yeah.
Just to catch up on what some
Alright.
people are saying
So-
real quick.
Yeah, I was gonna say, do we have people joining?
Yeah, we have
us?
people
Okay.
joining. Abby Burda says your studio setup looks wonderful.
Oh, thanks.
Ruth Balster says happy Thursday.
Mhm.
Lydia says your hair looks beautiful, Allison.
Hi, Liz.
Hey, good
Oh,
job.
thank you.
Snaps are the name of those things. I think you were talking
Oh,
about.
snaps.
Yeah.
Hey, that's fun.
Karen Ludgren let us know that.
Oh,
She
thanks.
says hello. Anita Buckawing is here with us. Hi, friends.
Howdy.
Super
Hi.
movie discussion. Excellent. Okay.
Awesome. So yeah, I hope we're not rambling on and boring
We are.
y'all to death.
Yeah.
Hopefully not
and
boring.
Then
Allison's
okay.
necklace is beautiful, and
Oh,
Schroeder
thank you.
says.
So this is the
This is a
new
class.
kit.
Whose class was this? Christy Friesen.
Oh yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And so here's a luxury bead blend. The luxury bead blend has check glass, Japanese seed beads. There's vintage sequins. There's French sequins, Belgium sequins,
Wow.
and Japanese sequins.
What?
There's
Look at all those
freshwater
sequins.
pearls. There's Tila beads. There's
I like the little gold,
Super
flower
Lux.
grommet
There's-
looking ones.
yeah, there's all kinds of goodies.
Mhm.
Anyways, so there's little bits of coral, there's stones, there's all kinds of good stuff in there. So that is
Oh,
in the
even
luxury
vintage-
bead
Even
blend.
the vintage.
There's vintage check glass. And over here we've got some howlite. There's a strand of howlite. And a strand of, it's a double strand, so it's 36 inches long. So it's a long strand. They kind of remind me of puka shells.
Yeah.
You remember puka shells?
They have a clinky quality to them. Is that like
Yeah, chip beads are,
they feel? Yeah.
they're an interesting material. So usually we do wax linen, but this time we decided to do wax cotton, and it's kind of a ribbon-y, a flat cord.
Yeah, lace ribbon.
There's some vintage seed beads. Oh, those are the clam
Cord ends.
cord ends. They're like little clam shells, and they're little brass ones. And then there's the vintage seed beads, and those are stripies. And I think, are they vintage French ones?
I think these are Italian.
The Italian ones.
I think I got Italian this last time.
And there's 2 strands of vintage check
These
glass.
little wavy. They look wavy.
Yeah,
are
they
they
are.
wavy?
They're
Yeah, I
slightly
like it.
wavy little discs. They're really fun. We bought out a store, and I have hanks of those. And I was like, what am I ever going to use these for?
Super blue and red. Perfect.
Perfect. So those ones are from Unicorn Beads, and they're borosilicate glass, and they have a clear coat over the blue part, which gives it kind of a magnifying water effect.
Are they the drops?
Yes.
Their signature
yeah.
drop? Yeah.
They call them teardrops, but they're almost like little mushroom buttons. So next to those are some painted wood from the Philippines. There are some rolled paper beads, also from the Philippines. There's another painted wood. There is glass pearls. There's a vintage check glass. There's, they call it crystal, but it's really just glass. There's some matte glass, some vintage moon glow lucite.
That's really pretty.
And then there's some more of that crystal, which is just a faceted glass that's been leaded. More of the moon glow. Now the moon glow kind of has this kind of fun shampoo effect to it, which is really neat. It kind of glows on its own, which is really fun.
Can't get it to focus.
And then there's more vintage plastic. And there you go. That one had a good chatoyance. Chatoyance means a cat eye effect. So you know how the cat's eyes kind of shimmer when they shift in the light? That's what that's called. So there's, moving over, we've got the vintage German glass, which is that, no,
The clear, right?
no, the gold colored,
there.
that mottled gold. And then the next one that we've got is, it looks like wood, but it's actually vintage plastic.
Plastic, wow.
And they've got nice, good, ample holes and ample plenty. And then the mystery, non-mystery component is this one. And it's one of the star, I did star drawings and used our laser engraver and cutter to cut that out of a frosted clear acrylic. So that you can dye with different things or paint it, and it will soak up the paint really
Okay,
good.
that's what's going to be my question is, can we, like the liquid, what am I trying to think of?
Alcohol ink?
Yes, the alcohol inks.
So yes, but so alcohol inks, you have to be careful because not all of them are light fast. So
Okay.
when you look for things that are going to be worn, you want to get things that are light fast so that you can wear it. Yeah, so that when you put it out in the sun, they don't fade.
Oh, okay.
And a lot of those you can. One of the ones that I like a lot to use is the vintage patinas. They're not translucent. They're usually opaque, but they did just come out with their opalescents, and those are
I've
nice
seen
because
those, yes.
they kind of go into the nooks and crannies, and then you can wipe it away.
Can
And
you
it's
just
pretty
do
neat.
something with them, I think?
Possibly.
Maybe on one of our last kits, maybe?
Possibly. So that's the kit, the new Freedom Kit. The Freedom Kit is available on our online store. That's allegorygallery.com. And just go to the online store. They should be available. There are 10 kits, and they are $20 per kit. Now, there's a lot of stuff in the kits, so it's well worth the price of admission.
Yeah.
The mixes we're also selling as an add-on. So if you want to, if you want to get a mix or if you want to get a kit and you're like, hey, I want more mix, or I just want the mix, then you can order just the mix. And those are $10 a piece.
The mixes. So the
Yes.
kit is really worth it.
Well, if you add it up, we sell the luxury bead blends for $10. The seed beads are $2. The wax cord is $2. This strand is, I think, $5. These little strands would be about $3 a piece.
Yeah, wow.
So usually we sell the mystery component by itself is $8.
Yeah.
So 8 and 10 for the 2 extra components.
So
Yeah.
this is $18. So this is $20 by itself.
Well worth it.
And then this is just icing on the cake.
Extra freedom.
So-
extra freedom.
Freedom. We always try to do that. I feel
Yeah.
like
Oh,
I
yeah.
hate when you get a kid and it's very stingy with what's in it,
Yeah.
because I feel like a kit is maybe something that you wouldn't normally pick yourself.
Right.
So-
Branch out. Try something different.
Yeah, so if I'm going to get something that I don't necessarily want right away, like, there's a desire to want the beads, but
Mhm.
not maybe those specific beads in that colorway.
Yeah.
I want a lot for my money. I don't like to, get it
Yeah.
where you're like, oh, that's,
Can barely even make one
Ann
piece.
Schroeder said, I love the wax cord. The first time I ever saw it was with one of your kits.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, good.
It's
I
probably the
think
pink
the,
one we
the
used
pink
once.
one.
Mhm.
This is the Brave Angel kit. So this is, I think, our 70th kit.
Wow.
We've been doing them A long time. I'm trying to like do the mental math. How long is the store? We've been here for 8 years.
It'll be 8 in September.
Okay. And it's actually last weekend, I think, was when we first kind of got the idea to open the store.
Yeah.
And then
8 years that it was thought about.
Correct.
The official opening in September.
Did we ever tell you the story of how the store came to be?
I'm sure some people have heard it, but not everybody out there.
Well, there's a lot of different kind of things that all kind of lined up.
Oh, and Anita says, nice collection, awesome price.
Oh, thanks. So I had cancer, I had skin cancer, and I had gone into exorbitant medical debt. And I was like, I'm never going to be able to pay this off. But luckily, through the grapevine, a lawyer in Pittsburgh had heard about it, and they were able to negotiate it down with the hospital. And then through fundraising, through my fellow artists and supporters, and clearing out our savings, or most of our savings, we ended up getting it paid off. So to celebrate, and rewind, there was this, we would drive by this place, and this place was on our way to the post office and the grocery store, and they were always doing something. There was like construction. One day we went out and there was these great big poles. The next day there was a ramp. The next day there was a sign for Chinese pottery.
What town was this?
This is in Bolivar.
Okay.
And we were like, what is this going on here? So there was an email address, and there was, it's a Chinese eatery. And so we were like, what is this?
Yes.
Because this is a house. What's going on here? And so we emailed them and said, let us know. We'd like to know, like, what's going on. And so they emailed us, and they said, hey, we're opening tomorrow, and we have food. You should come.
We are going to be a restaurant.
And I was like, okay, we have to go tomorrow. And we had just finished that day paying off the last of the medical bills. So it had taken about a year.
Well, I just was looking at pictures. You were in the hospital having surgery on October 14th, 2010.
So
that was almost 9 years ago.
Yeah.
And then
because on my birthday is when I was diagnosed.
Yeah.
And they're like, by the way, you have cancer.
So in 2011 is when we opened the store in September. So it was from October until...
They did a good job, by the way.
They made you better.
The delivery was...
yeah.
They're like, so, yeah.
Oh, you mean when they FYI'd you?
Yeah, I was like, I didn't know. They're like, oh, it's what was it? It's a carcinoma. And so I was like, what's that?
Squamous cell.
Squamous cell carcinoma. But anyway, so we, so how long did it take us to pay it off?
Well, we started the store, the idea was what, in July? So October to June.
So that's
with lawyer help.
That's almost a year.
6 months.
So hey, that was pretty good. Because they were like, originally it was like $80,000, and we're like, well, I might as well die because I don't have $80,000.
Never gonna have $80,000.
I was like, I got student loans to pay, and on top of this time we're gonna get paid. So I might as well dig a hole and go lay down, because that's about the.
Well, we're glad you didn't. Thank you for not
digging a hole in the ground and giving up.
Right.
So anyway, so we went to this restaurant, and they were telling us this story about how they started and how they always wanted to start a restaurant. And it's a neat. So she was a genetic scientist in Pittsburgh for her day job, and for fun she decided to open a restaurant.
Right.
Which we both laughed because
it's not fun.
It's
fun.
Sounds nice
Yeah.
in your mind, but it's a lot of work, and it's oftentimes
pull your hair out.
a hard road to toe. So anyway, but they gave us all these stories about how they had overcome all these challenges, and they kind of sprinkled a seed in our brains about wanting to be an entrepreneur.
Oh, that's awesome. I didn't realize Lacey, and she was your
Lacey
catalyst. Yeah.
Well, so when I was going through the cancer, I couldn't sleep at night, and because it was on my side, and so I sleep on my stomach, and so there were staples, and they'd removed half a square foot of skin, and so it would pull tight. It was almost like wearing a corset. So I couldn't sleep, and so William used to lay in the bed, and he couldn't lay in the bed at the same time, so he actually laid on the floor.
You both couldn't be in the same space.
Bed. Well, because if he moved, then the bed would move, and then it would pull the staple. And so we used to daydream about things we wanted to do. And it was kind of one of those things where it was the someday maybes, the things that kind of give you the hope to get through, a hard time. And so one of the things that we wanted to do one day was to open a store. And there are more stories about why we wanted to open a store. But we had wanted to open a store, and we were like, one day, when we're...
Who was doing what at the time? Was William still in Pittsburgh? Working?
William...
Oh, you were at...
That's when I was at the Armand car
shop.
He was at
Factory.
the British Car Parts Company, and he was at the restaurant in Indiana. And I was doing freelance and magazines and trade shows and tech editing. So, and I had an online store too, just a little one. So anyway, so we had one day wanted to open a store, and we'd gone out to celebrate at the new restaurant, and they planted the seeds in our brain. And the night ended early because we shut down the place, but it was still relatively early.
It was like 9 or 10.
It was, but we were like, let's do something else. Let's keep the celebration going.
Okay.
So we decided to go for drinks, and we went into Johnstown, and that's where we ran into the woman that owns the bookstore in town. And the cafe in the front of her space had gone out of business and closed, and so she desperately needed a roommate, or else she wouldn't be able to stay. So at first she's like, open a store, and I was like, no.
Andrew was very against it.
Lot of work, and I don't want to have to go somewhere every day, and no. And then by the end of the evening,
how many drinks later?
Not that many, because we were being responsible. Celebratory, but also not, getting too wild. So anyways, the next day we showed up with tape measures, and we started measuring the space.
Awesome.
And we actually did not know what kind of store we were going to put in.
Really?
So we talked about putting my art, and we also talked about just having a regular gallery.
Which you don't know won't hurt you here.
Correct.
I
mean, I'm not really, I'm over here spinning a tale. Well, anyway, yeah, you're doing great.
Good job.
Good job.
Thank you.
You're doing
That's
great.
a story for another day.
She wants one of those pendants so hard.
I didn't get a pendant.
Uh-oh. Well, I actually made something to put in your mailbox, and then I was like, oh, I shouldn't sneak in the nighttime and
okay, Nettie.
I might get shot, or the dogs start barking.
Yeah, right.
Anyway, so
hi, Nettie, by the way.
Hi. So where was I?
Stalking.
We didn't know what kind of
a store. You didn't know what kind of store. I didn't know that. I didn't know that was like a. What should we do?
Yeah, I had just mentioned a bead store while we were there, but
we didn't know. My training is in fine art, so and I have experience in beading.
Right, from your sister. Just from,
and doing the magazines and the tech editing. But we didn't really know. We wanted to start a component line of our own, and then that kind of got waylaid. And we decided to do the bead store instead.
Yeah, because a lot of people don't know, but we started a different company. We had started signing up officially for a different company to mass produce.
Before this. So, but that kind of got put on the back burner because apparently it's not easy. And it takes a lot of money. So, and also, one of my friends was closing her bead store, and so we bought out her bead store, or part of her bead store, and that's how we got started. And we started with $10,000, which now that's like almost nothing. It was nothing in comparison. I mean, at the time,
for a little bit, yes.
At the time, we thought that was like so much money, and then once you've been involved in the business for a while, you realize that that's one shopping trip. And
Ann Schroeder says she's so glad we chose this.
Well, we're glad that you're one of our friends and supporters, and we could create this community. And I mean, that's another thing. We wanted to create a space, whatever it was that we were going to do, that was going to be an inclusive space, that people felt safe and could feel empowered. And so it wasn't just about selling something, and it wasn't just about selling beads or making money, which really you should
think about
it.
It should be on your mind.
If you're gonna, so we were not the best prepared, as you can imagine. We got the idea having drinks, and we're like, we'll open a store. So that there's actually a lot of work that goes into preparing and planning for opening a small business. And if you are planning on doing that, I recommend SCORE. SCORE Mentors, they provide free business advice from professionals, or low cost, depending on where you are and how much they have to rent out rooms or whatever. But if you are thinking about starting a business, I definitely recommend talking to your local chapter, because I wish we had done that.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my goodness. We made so many mistakes in the beginning, and like I had this great idea of putting everything in drawers and hiding stuff, and you'd have to dig for it. We quickly found out that people don't like to dig.
No.
I like to dig.
Yeah, but not everyone
People were like, what do you have for sale?
Yeah,
there are these
stuff?
dressers.
Where's your stuff?
And it's like, you have to pull the drawers open.
I wasn't there for that.
No.
Yeah, so it didn't last very long.
No, because I was like, we are losing money fast. Or, we don't need a sign. We'll do word of mouth.
Come on their own.
So, our sign was a piece of printed out paper for months. I mean, it was 6 months before we got a sign.
We opened in September, and I think it was winter or spring when we were hanging our sign. I think it was just spring, the next spring.
Because there was ice.
Yeah, there was still ice. It was cold, but it wasn't snowy, I don't think.
No, but my fingers were freezing as we were on the ladder. And with the police stopping and checking to see what our...
This is everything we do in the middle of the night.
Yes, because you do.
Hanging signs at 3 a.m.
And so, there was a lot of things that we did that were probably not this smart. We were like, oh, our space is going to become an event space. And so we would let anybody do whatever kind of event they wanted in this space.
It was like an open house.
We did Mellow Mike. We had Words in Process.
Yeah, you had a couple
we did
things.
all of these wonderful things that were fun, but did not make us $1 of money. Actually made us lose money.
You probably bought food and drinks. And
yes. And I mean, it was good. There's intangibles where it got us, introduced to the community and forged kind of those bonds in the creative community. And it was fun, and it was good, and it was a nice exposure and stuff. but we definitely didn't make money off of it. There were a lot of things like that we did where we didn't really think about, the financial end of it. So that's why you should go to your local SCORE chapter, and even if you do have a business, sometimes it's good to go and get a refresher. We went after having the store for 7 years, and we learned so many things, and we were actually a finalist for their 2018 Small
17,
Business
18.
What is it? American Small Business Championship. I typed that so many times, you'd think that I would have that memorized. But anyway, so we were one of 3 businesses in Pennsylvania,
Right.
and one of 100 in the country.
Yeah.
And so that was a really big event for us, and it kind of changed. And that was just last year, which is crazy.
I know.
I mean, it seems so long ago. We met some really amazing people through that that will be lifelong friends that we really love and enjoy. I just wish everybody lived closer. I guess that's the thing with everything. We were constantly, like I'll see their posts on Facebook, and I'm like, oh, those noodles look so good, but you're in Kentucky. And I'm like, how am I going to get to Kentucky? Or mustard, or, greasy quarters and stuff.
But you got yourself some mustard.
Lots of mustard.
Yeah.
And delightful mustard. Ruth's mustard,
right?
if you're looking for it. And
I'm going to get going here, so I'm finished.
Well, she's almost done.
Uh-huh.
And I haven't even started. I strung this on a head pin. Apparently, I can't talk and design at the same time.
He had so many things in mind, too.
Yeah, I was like, oh, I'm going to take this
he was
colored
running
wire.
around the shop looking for stuff.
Yeah, I was like, oh, I'm going to show them how I'm going to make a messy wire wrap bead, which I'll show you sometime in the future. Not while I'm talking, apparently. Or while I'm dedicated to that. But anyways, so to recap, all this bringing around is we're unboxing the new kit. The new kit is the Freedom Kit. The Freedom Kit is a blend of red, white, and blue with little hints of metallic gold and a little bit of clear. Grommet colored. And I had to very specifically narrow down the types of gold, because there's lots of types of gold. So I had to pick out the one that looked just like them.
Mixed metaling here.
Hey, that looks good. So she's done. She's fast.
Let's clean off the space, I guess.
Here,
I use the cord ends. So the cord ends are here, and they come with somewhere to attach it. So I use some jump rings to attach it to half of a clasp, and then use that clasp as a connector. Did some knotting with the cord, some sliding clasp, sliding knots, adjustable sliding knots, and then stringing for the rest, and the beautiful pendant.
Yeah, that's
so how to combine
clever.
the cord and stringing in one project. Nice. The large hole beads were nice and big for this project too.
So one of the things
the large hole beads that go through.
If you are afraid of this coming loose, if you take a dab of super glue, I like to use Loctite super glue. Loctite is a gel, and it's in a container, so it doesn't get all over, and it's in a squeeze container that you squeeze on the side, so it doesn't get all over your fingers. Just put a tiny little drop, let that dry, and then squeeze it with all your might, and there you go. And these ones, if you can't find these or don't have any more, we have more of those in stock in the store. You just have to special request those, and they come in a bag of 20 or so, and they're real inexpensive. So this actually makes a I want to say bad words, but I'm not going to. But it makes a lot of projects.
Oh, yes. I mean,
I
should have cut it in half first, but I didn't. So I have two nice halves left.
I forgot how long these are. They 3 meters? They're long.
Sure. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Usually our stuff's at least 2 meters.
Mm-hmm.
So there's long. And if you do bracelets, if you can find them, I don't think we have any in stock, but there's long ones, and you can glue them.
About chips, I didn't use any.
Well, more projects.
Mm-hmm.
You have
I know.
plenty extra.
I barely cut into the mix too.
Yeah, there's
and I may have
tons
stole
of stuff.
some of yours.
Well, waste not, want not, right? So yeah, they make a lot of stuff. Go to allegorygallery.com, go to the online store, and go to the Freedom Mix kit, the Freedom Kit. This is the mix. This is the
mix.
kit. This is the mix. Kit, mix. And then also, I think, did you put these ones online?
Mm-hmm.
So you can also, if you want to get another one of these, you can make earrings. They're nice and lightweight.
Yeah, they would make nice earrings.
You could do all kinds of fun things. You can color them, jump ring, and easy peasy. All right, so in summation is go to allegorygallery.com and go to the online store and search for the Freedom Kit, and there it will be. There's only 10 and they are $20 a piece, and I think some of them have already sold, so make sure to hurry. All right, bye guys.
Thanks, bye.